When should I raise my prices? Guys, this is a question I get all the time, and that's what we're talking about today. Hey everybody, my name is Joey Thomas, entrepreneur and small business educator with 17 hats. Today's video is about if you should raise your prices, why you should raise your prices, and how you can raise your prices. This topic around raising prices, it tends to generate a lot of anxiety. But why? Why are we so afraid or hesitant to raise our prices, right? Some of the mentality behind it, I've heard all kinds of things. I've heard that people won't pay for that, or I'm not really good enough, or that I don't believe that people want to spend that much money for this type of service. Or the one that I hear a lot is, my market won't XYZ. And this happens a lot. There's so much hesitation around it. And hopefully today I can bring a little clarity and help you down that direction, down that path of raising your prices if appropriate. So now, first of all, I want you to think about pricing as positioning. Where are you positioning yourself in the market? Okay, so in a particular restaurant, if you have a fast food chain versus a five-star restaurant, in your mind, you know which one's going to be for date night and which one's going to be for casual outing, right? So if you're going to a casual meal, you're probably not going to spend as much as you would at the restaurant that you would spend at date night. Now, a lot of times it could be this type of food, the location, right? The brand and the name and all of the kind of the messaging around it. Or sometimes it could just be about price. If one thing averages $10 and the other thing is averaging $50 a person, it's pretty easy to imagine that this is deemed to be nicer, whereas the fast food or the casual option is not. It's just casual, right? So immediately and psychologically, wherever you price yourself, it ultimately positions you somewhere in your client's mind or in the market's mind. So be very careful kind of where you want to be. I always like to say, hey, think about the client you want to serve, right? Before you start thinking about pricing, think about who you want to serve. Where are they? What are they thinking? Where do they want to put their treasure, their investment, right? So let's think about it like this. If you are not priced where your client believes you should be priced, they might think there's something wrong. Okay, so if I were to walk into, let's just go down this path of restaurants really quick. If I were to walk in, I'm going on a date, and I'm taking someone with me. It's a five-star restaurant, and you open the door, or actually your car pulls up. There's valet. They open the door for you. You walk in. It smells great. Everybody's dressed up really nicely. You finally get to your table. You sit down. You order the steak because I love steak. So you order the steak, and the bill comes. And it's $12. You're like, wait a minute. Let's back up a little bit. Let's just look at the menu. If you looked at the menu and the steak you wanted was $12, what's going to go through your mind? Something doesn't add up. I thought this was a five-star restaurant. I thought I was coming here to spend some money. What is wrong with this steak, right? Rarely ever do you even go to a five-star restaurant and they have specials, or special pricing, let me put it that way. And if you saw something that doesn't make sense, if you had an expectation walking in, but the pricing was really low, you know what? Most likely, the fact that I love steak, I'm probably not going to order the steak because I think something's wrong with it. So think about that. A lot of us want to be luxury, or we want to have a boutique service or something special, but yet we're not pricing ourselves in a way that coincides with the brand or the messaging that we're trying to deliver. So If you are to price yourself appropriately, it positions yourself better in the client's mind, it makes more sense, and it positions yourself or aligns yourself with the competition that you're going up against. So if you have other five-star restaurants and the choice is between one or the other, you have to be priced somewhere in the same range. And it doesn't have to be exact, but it's somewhere in the same range. And people say you get what you pay for. We've all heard that. So if we're getting what we pay for and we believe that, you know what? I am not buying that $12 steak, because who knows where that could be that could be from, right? So something else to understand just about pricing, we tend to want to keep really competitive, and in our minds the word competitive is based on pricing, and we'll get into that a little bit here in a few minutes, but that is not the only way to be competitive. Being competitive is also about the client experience. It's also about serving them in a particular way. I want you to start thinking a little differently about being competitive, because if I want to be competitive at this restaurant, not only will my pricing make sense, right, would be up to par with my branding and my messaging, but to be competitive, I would just amp up my service. I would make sure it tastes the best. I would make sure that it smells wonderful, the table's clean, or there's always water at the table. There are other ways you can be competitive than just with pricing, because I don't just want to keep getting new clients, right? We tend to think that if we keep our prices low, that we're going to get new clients. But getting new clients is not the same as growing your business, right? Let me say that again. Getting new clients is not the same as growing your business, because growth is more than just the number of invoices that you have. Growth is also about to add other things as part of your service, other services, a better, like I said, a better experience, maybe better tablecloths, better chairs, better lighting, better decor, better paid servers, right? Or chefs. So there are so many other things you can do by improving or growing your business and not just getting new clients. Now, if you increase your prices, if that steak price increases, all it's doing, it's coming up to par with the brand and what market I want to serve, but it also allows me to just add, just offer better value at every turn in every aspect of my business, right? So let's now think about, when would it be appropriate to raise our prices? What are some signs that it's time to raise our prices? Number one, you have more work than you can handle. You are getting leads left and right. You're busy every week. You're serving a lot of clients. You are so busy that you are not able to focus on some of the other important areas of your business. For example, getting back on emails really quickly, or responding to leads, or delivering your product. You're just taking in new clients and taking in new clients because your price is so low that so many clients are coming in. That is fantastic on day one when you're starting your business. But if you're in this now for a year or two and you start seeing that, it might be time to raise your prices. Another sign that it might be time to raise your prices is that your competitors, the ones you align yourself with, right? And the competitors who are serving the type of clientele that you want to be serving, they charge significantly more. So if you start noticing that your competitors are charging significantly more, it might be time to raise your prices. Another reason? Well, your cost of doing business is increasing. Inflation. Your rent is going up. Their products are going up. All of just the fact that time is money, and you need more time to perform this service or offer this product in the way that you want to offer. So that's another sign. Now, for me, I remember when I started having a little resentment towards clients. And I said, why am I having resentment? Well, the resentment was there because I started doing so much work and putting so much effort, but I didn't feel that I was getting paid accordingly. So if you're at that place in your business where resentment's setting in, that you just don't want to look at another client, you're just like, oh, I can't respond to another lead, or that's just too much to handle. It might be time to raise your prices. Now, the final sign to me is that I come to realization that the service I offer has a much greater value than the time I'm charging for. For example, if you were a fitness trainer and your time, you spend an hour and a half with someone, and that hour and a half might only be worth a certain amount of money. But I'm starting to realize that the problem I'm solving and what it means to my client is worth way more than I'm charging for my hour and a half, right? There is something a bit more transcendent with your service. It might save your client time. It has meaning. There's a connection emotionally, right? And so if you're starting to understand that, it might be time to raise your prices. So as your demand increases, as you begin to feel a little bit more resentment towards all the work you have to do, when you start noticing that your competitors are charging more for the same service, I want you to really, really start considering that maybe today is the day to change your prices. When it's time to change your prices, if you have decided now, look, that might be you might need to change your prices. There's a few things I want you to start really thinking about, and I want you to start paying attention to is, first of all, do a little research in your market. Look at what your competitors are charging. Look at other brands who are serving the type of clientele that you want to serve. Let's say, for example, exercise or fitness gear, fitness clothing. You can go to Target or Walmart to purchase fitness clothing, right? And most likely it is good enough. But then you look at a company like Lululemon, and you see that Lululemon is selling their fitness clothing for 5, 6, 7, 8 times the price, and you're just wondering what's going on. And then you look at the clientele and you start looking at where's Lululemon placed in the city, where their locations are different than, let's say, the Targets. The type of clientele that they serve, the messaging, the packaging, all of the things that they are adding in there. What they're doing is they're adding value beyond the item. Sure, the item is great. Sure, it fits great. People love the fabric, but they're adding value beyond just the item itself. Their bags alone became somewhat of a craze, right? Because of the design. So now if you're keeping that in mind, if you look at your competitors and you're wondering why are they able to charge more, kind of look at the whole experience. Look at the packaging, look at their branding, their messaging, and start to do a little research. Where are they located? How are they reaching those clients? So number 2, I want you to add value when you raise your price. Now, there's a certain level you can raise your price without possibly adding anything to your packages or to your offerings. But if you want to make real changes and really make a significant impact on your bottom line and on your pricing and what you make, I want you to think about adding value. If I'm going to raise my service, if my service is $1,000 and I need to go to $2,000, right, to be competitive with the market, what else can I offer that's not going to cost me a lot of money, but it's going to mean something to the client? For example, if I am If I'm offering photography and let's say I'm offering wedding photography, and my process before was just this online process where people just click on the package they want, they secure me that way, and they put a deposit, and then that's it. Now I want to raise my prices to $2,000. I have to ask myself, what else do I want to do? So one of the things I would do is, instead of being an online process, I would get on a phone call. I would possibly send some questionnaires to get to know them. Maybe I'll meet them in person. It's not really changing what comes out of your pocket, but the client experience changes, which adds more value in their mind. So when raising prices, think about adding value to the client. Now, number 3, I want you to refine your branding and your messaging to sync with the new pricing. Okay, so the example we talked about earlier with Target and Walmart, you get it in the regular Target and Walmart bags, you buy some fitness apparel, and you're going to get it in those bags, right? But if you were that person, you were that company, and you wanted to serve a higher end clientele, and you're changing your business, and you want to be the Lululemon of your industry, of your service, then you have to also change a few things. So your branding, your logos, the feel of your website, your messaging. And what do I mean by messaging? I want you to start really thinking about how to connect with them emotionally, drive meaning more than just price. And when that happens, when you start talking about things that transcends just the utility of your service or your product, then your value goes up. So think about the branding and the messaging that you have along the branding of the messaging that you create along with the price increase. Okay, so number 4, you don't always have to increase prices in the standard, most obvious way. You can change your offerings and then upsell at various stages of the client relationship. Let's use a web designer, for example. Let's say your packages today, or your offerings today, is your web design, SEO packages, and social media optimization. Okay, let's just say all 3. And you're selling that for $2,000. But let's think about it a different way. What if you took out all of the other offerings and you just offered web design for $1,500? Okay, so yes, you dropped your price. We're talking about increasing prices, but you just dropped your price. But you took out 2 other services. So if you are now only responsible for designing the website, somewhere along the client experience, you begin to talk about search engine optimization, SEO, so that they can rank better. Now you show them an offer to optimize their SEO, and you might charge $490, $500 for that service. So now they add that service on, and you're making exactly what you made before for just 2 services. So you have saved time, and so the value to you is better. Now along the way, you add another service for maybe $200-$300, social media optimization. So what you're going to go in, you're going to manage some of their social media, you're going to make sure the messaging ties into the website, whatever it might be. So now for the same 3 services that you were charging $2,000 before, you have just made $2,300. That's the idea. So you can increase your prices by changing your offerings and then upselling later. I know in the photography industry, I have spoken to many people who have been able to have a lot of success in doing that. Venue owners, I've seen that as well. They will get you to sign on for the day, just the rental. Then they will do things like valet services or linens, just bar services. They'll add other things along the way, and they'll make a lot more by doing the add-ons than they would if they packaged it all together up front. Okay, so number 5, When increasing prices, you don't have to go from A to Z all at once. If your goal was to go from 1,000 to 3,000, you don't have to do it all at once. You can do it in stages. So go from 1,000 to say 1,500 today. Add some value, and as you're building your business, tweak your branding, tweak the messaging, and then maybe 3 months or 4 months or 6 months down the road, you want to make another change. And if that works better for you, if that is a way that you can wrap your head around making that improvement, I highly suggest it. It's going to be different for everybody, so don't feel you have to make that huge leap. Okay, number 6. Think about if you offer multiple services or multiple products, I want you to do a little research into what is your best-selling service or best-selling product. So instead of changing all your prices across all your services, maybe do the increase in your best-selling items. And that way, you're bringing more in. The demand is still high, but it doesn't look like your brand just did an overhaul and now you have to serve a completely different client. You're still drawing people in with some of your lower priced offerings, but still selling your best or most popular offering at a higher price. So you can do that. That way you don't have to do it all at once. And number 7, think about offering collections. In collections, you're able to bundle together a la carte items and then show value. And when you bundle things together, there is a higher chance that people will spend more with you than if you just offered it a la carte. And by a la carte, when they start adding numbers, they're going to mentally stop at a certain point. It becomes, they hit that point where they can't go any further. But if you were to create a collection for them and even write most popular on one of your collections, you can find that people are less resistant to spending more money because you have now helped them understand what they need or what they might want. They will also appreciate that there is a better value associated with collections. I myself love offering collections. My clients love it. And the way that I do it is I set up a quote in 17 Hats with multiple options or multiple collections. In my quote, I also show a la carte numbers, and it's very easy to see. If they were to click on all of the a la carte and they see a running total, they can see that it's going well above the collection price. But on my quote, if they were to click on my collection, they see that the value is so much greater. Because in my descriptions, I'll also put what the retail value would be or the a la carte value be versus the collection value. It's a very simple way to show your clients how collections are valuable to them. Now, I know that changing pricing can be daunting. So hopefully today in this video, I have given you a few ideas to help you make that change and why it could greatly impact the quality of the service that you offer. If you have any thoughts, questions, please use the comments down below to just let us know what you think and ask any questions. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. I will be back with many, many more business topics, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Till next time, thank you guys.